Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. Round two. Round two, I had sound problems with the last stream. What I meant to say was billions upon billions upon billions upon billions of Bitcoin were bought during the dip. Did you? Did you take advantage of the dip? Did you buy some Bitcoin or altcoins? Because that bloody Sunday and Monday never came. So if you stayed true, you stayed focused on long term, and you dollar cost average, well, you did it right. And not only you, but billions, well, not billions, but countless others have done the same. They ignored the FUD. They kept going. They believe in what they're investing in, and that is the way to win at the game of crypto. So let's discuss. Let's discuss what happened yesterday, today, going forward this week. What can we expect? Well, let's discuss. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All right, guys, let's do this. Lively crowd today. A lot of people very happy that that the bloody Sunday that was supposed to occur yesterday didn't happen. A lot of people thought it would happen today. Didn't happen. The day is early. The day is early, but things are looking pretty darn good. Bitcoin is above 37,000 again. This is a point that Bitcoin kind of struggled with for the last few days, right? But overall, it's looking like it's moving in the right direction. But not only Bitcoin, the altcoins are having a pretty good rally today too. And that's because a lot of people just said no more. I don't want to hear the FUD. I don't want to hear people that keep telling you, hey, it's gonna go do this and do this and do this. It could go down. It could go there. There's just like so many people that's making so many predictions, and there's a lot of media-driven FUD. We know that, a lot of scare, and a lot of retail investors just was not prepared for that, right? But my message has been the same, including the video I showed you guys yesterday, the one last night about what happened a year ago in March, right? Man, there has been some tough times, very tough times. I was absolutely depressed and drunk when I filmed that live session a year ago. But you know what? Those of us that lived through it, we got stronger. We became a little bit wiser, and living through that, basically we can live through anything. Any that drops right now, we can live through, right? And that's what I'm trying to help you guys get through. Dan, yes, I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, really, the name of the game, the one strategy that works is you stick with the fundamentals. You buy the projects that you love. You buy the coins that you love, the ones that have infinite potential and has a great team, has great concept, has great great network effect, great developers, however you want to define it. These are the ones that you continue to buy and hold, and you just ignore the FUD, and you can become a millionaire by doing so. Countless have become millionaires because of this strategy, and countless more will become millionaires due to this strategy. The one true strategy that works is when you accumulate low, buy, dollar cost average, and hold them. That's it. So today I'm going to show you exactly, my title, Billions of Bitcoin Bought During the Dip. That is what exactly happened. Report shows over $2 billion worth of Bitcoin bought during the dip, between $30,000 and $35,000. Guess who decided to buy? Not only retail investors that just simply said no to the FUD, but of course, a lot of institutions. Okay, I've been telling you guys this. People think that it's a conspiracy theory that, the banks and institutions may want to drive media FUD to buy. No, it's not. It's not fun. It's not conspiracy. This is what they do. If the big boys want to buy Bitcoin, when do you think they go buy it? They go buy it. They go prefer buying it at 60,000 or in the 30,000s. Of course, they go buy in the 30,000s, right? So this is what happens when there are discounts. When there are discounts, especially during a bull run, a bull market, you're going to see a lot of dips, possibly sideways movement, and also manipulation. And during those times is when millions and billions are made, because that's when you can buy low, and then later on you can hold it or just sell high, right? And that is what these big boys are doing. So $2 billion worth of Bitcoin bought during the dip, and that's just over the last few days. Who knows how much more is going to be bought going forward, right? And this is all happening behind the scenes. It's not very transparent because most of these FIs are within with the OTC market, which means it's just basically like a person-to-person transaction, and it's not on the order books. You really don't see it, right? And the reason why Bitcoin doesn't skyrocket because of these buys is because they're done on OTC market, not the spot market. They're doing this on purpose. They do this on purpose to make sure the price does not move. You have a MicroStrategy. When they buy it through OTC. They do it through Coinbase, but Coinbase is an OTC market so that it doesn't really bring the price up. They do this on purpose. People still don't understand. They're like, oh, George, well, if so many people are buying, why is the price not going up? They're doing it on purpose. They're spreading out their buys, and they're doing it on the OTC market, not in this market, on purpose, because they want to keep things low and accumulate as much as possible. Where the whales that are playing the manipulation game, where they're wrecking leverage traders and so forth, they do it on the spot market and derivatives market because they know they can affect the price, right? So there's two kind of movements right now, but you got to pay attention to the data behind the scenes. Who's buying, right? Is there buying? And the answer is yes. There's a lot of buying all the time. You just have to pay attention to it, right? Nick says, I sincerely hope you saved the glitch saying billions and billions in Echo. Thank you for that. I do have that still, but I just made it private. All right. So yeah, a lot of buying. And you know what? Like I said, it's early. It's Monday, Memorial Day, light volume, right? Who knows what's going to happen this week? It could be a tremendous week. I mean, Bitcoin obviously is low. It's low. We just fell down about 50%. All coins are still down 50, 60%. We are still very low, but people are buying, right? So we'll see what happens this week. We could see a tremendous rise upwards, or we don't. We can just see sideways movement for a while. Accumulation phase. We have seen this in 2017 before, right? Or maybe we do see a dip. Maybe we do see more weakness, right? It could go one of three ways. There's only three possibilities. But the strategy stays the same. You stay focused. You ignore the FUD. You dollar cost average. You HODL, and you don't invest more than what you can afford to lose. Okay? A lot of people still don't understand the concept. I just saw a comment yesterday. Someone's asking me, George, if crypto and Bitcoin is such a sure thing, why shouldn't I invest more than what I can afford to lose, right? Why shouldn't I just mortgage my house and everything and just go all in on Bitcoin? The thing is, when you do that, there will be periods where Bitcoin goes down, right? And then you will get wrecked because you're dependent on that money. You don't want to be dependent on the money that you're putting into crypto. That's the thing. If you can't survive, you can't pay your bills, right? The debt collectors are pounding down your door because you put too much into crypto and you refuse to sell. That's a problem. So if you're in that situation, then yes, you should probably sell and get out. But otherwise, if you're investing money that you can live without, you can live without it. That is how you should invest. So you don't invest more than what you can afford to lose, right? So if there is a 50% drop, it's okay. You could leave it there, right? You could take advantage of the dip if you have more money, right? But if you put all that into credit cards or leverage or put down collateral to borrow against, you could be margin called, you could be liquidated, or you could be paying high interest that you don't want to be doing that, right? That's just not smart. So don't invest more than what you can afford to lose. I don't think I say that enough. I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep pounding you guys. into your heads, because that is very, very important. Very, very important. All right, another thing I found that supports my case is, look at this chart. Quite interesting. You have STH, which is short-term holders, retail, and then you have miners, and then you have long-term holders. Long-term holders could be institutions, it could be retail as well, but most of retail is represented by this STH. And you could see during the dip, STH supply is going down, right? Retail gets weak. Not that it's, it's not really their fault, because they're not accustomed to, dips, right? So yeah, so obviously this is no surprise. Short-term holders, the amount of crypto obviously decreased, the amount that they held. But look at the long-term and look at miners, okay? Long-term, let's focus on that. People that have strong hands, that truly have diamond hands, that truly believe in the future. Well, guess what? They're accumulating. They're accumulating more and more and more, right? The bigger the dip, the more they accumulate. And same to miners. Miners are also accumulating. They sell enough to pay for operations. Maybe they sell because they're forced to move out of China, which is actually a good thing, right? But overall, the trend is upwards. Miners continue to hodl because they know Bitcoin is going to be worth a tremendous amount of money in the future, way more than it is now. Why would you want to sell more now? You rather hold on as much as possible, right? So you sell enough to pay for operations. That's why miner accumulation goes up. Long-term holders, this could be retail investors, people from 2017, people from 2013, right? They continue to buy and buy and buy because this doesn't really faze them anymore. Retail is going down, but hopefully a lot of retail that came into the space because of Dogecoin or whatever, they're learning, they're educating themselves. They're starting to learn that, not everything goes up linearly forever to the moon, that there will be down periods, but many people in this space have lived through it, and they have good strategies like hodling, and hopefully these retail investors are learning along the way. And that happens every cycle. There's always more people that come in due to the FOMO. That's natural. It always happens all the time, right? But this kind of shows you long-term holders and miners, they continue to accumulate more and more and more and more and more. What else is there? Claudio, you're the only YouTube channel I follow. Thank you. Thank you for that. Retail investors eventually separate themselves from leverage YouTubers. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are still, promoting leverage, and new retail investors, the ones that got drawn in by quick cash, quick money, like Dogecoin. After Dogecoin stopped, they may be looking for other ways, like the next meme coin, or they look into leverage. And unlike meme coins, which at least has a chance to come up, leverage, you get wrecked, you have no chance of coming back up again, right? Leverage is the ultimate evil, I think. It just wrecks so many people, especially the leverage that we're seeing in the crypto space. Like if you look at leverage, ETFs or something, right? Or even futures options. I guess there's it's not as prevalent, and it's not shilled as much with the traditional market. But with crypto, it's like literally every single person is shilling a Bybit link, right? So it gets so many newcomers wrecked, and then it just kicks them out of the game, right? What we need to do is curate, not the project, but curate the newcomers in the space and help educate them and help them stay. Because that's what we want. We want more people and more liquidity in this space. We don't want more people in to get wrecked and leave. That doesn't solve anything. We want more and more to come in and stay, right? That's why I hate leverage. And it's just destroying so many people, right? So many people. Which project has more potential, Aave or Luna? Long run, I think Luna, but short term, Aave. Nero asked about EWT Energy Web Token. It's like an energy trading play. I've heard of it. I've seen it. I've seen other competitors before. They haven't done very well, so I'll just say I'm neutral on them. All right. Besides this, what else is there? There's a few other things. Binance CEO CZ is not very happy about Elon, so he continues to tweet out, stuff like this. When you use electricity to run cars, it's environmentally friendly. When you use electricity to host the most efficient financial networks in the world, it's an environmental concern. I mean, that is true. That is true, right? Yeah, it's just, I think, look at this too. Look at this. In terms of all this bashing of energy usage from Bitcoin mining, you look at that and you versus gold, and it's not even halfway. And then you look at it versus the banking system around the world. No one ever questions how much energy the banking system of the world uses. None. Zero. That has never come up. No one ever talks about energy expenditure and the environmental concerns and even social concerns about gold mining. That never gets talked about, right? But somehow it's a big deal with Bitcoin mining all of a sudden, and it's just really the naysayers grasping at straw. There's nothing else you could say bad about Bitcoin, right? The only thing you could say now is, oh, look at the energy usage from the miners. But no one ever talks about energy usage of gold mining or silver mining or the banking industry or airline industry or any other industry, which is still a lot more to Bitcoin mining, right? So this is part of that media FUD I was talking about, right? Propaganda. There are people that just want to keep Bitcoin low or spread that FUD because they want to buy. They want to buy down low. That's why billions upon billions upon billions of Bitcoin are being bought during these dips. All right, what else is there? Max Keiser, one of the biggest and richest people from Bitcoin, still continues and argues that Bitcoin will reach 220,000 by the end of this year. Right? Now, to be fair, Max Keiser has been wrong on many of his predictions. So, but the thing to take away is Max, the one thing that he's always right about is buying Bitcoin and holding. He has bought it since $1. He has told people to buy $1. He told Peter Schiff to buy it at $1 or $10. I mean, this guy, no one knows how much Bitcoin he holds, but I would say in the hundreds of thousands, because Max was already rich from being an entrepreneur and being in the banking industry. But, he has been trying to get people to pay attention and get in Bitcoin for many, many, many years. Very eccentric guy, but also very intelligent. And he's kind of like the go-to man. He's Michael Saylor way before Michael Saylor. He just wasn't as in the spotlight, or he doesn't speak as eloquent as Michael Saylor. Not politically correct like Michael Saylor. But, I mean, he was Michael Saylor way before Michael Saylor was. And you could argue Roger Ver was also, too, until he went to the dark side and became too money happy, or he wanted to do the money grab with Bitcoin Cash. I mean, Roger Ver was also in that spot, too. But anyways, I think we should all strive to be like these guys. Just buy and hodl. Buy and hodl. Here's a pretty big endorsement. Pretty big endorsement for Ethereum. The ex-head of China's digital yuan effort. I don't know why he became the ex-head. Maybe because of thoughts like this. I don't know. But he came out and said that, digital yuan and other central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, right now, they're just more equivalent of digital versions of their cash if it's fiat. But in the future, they will be a lot smarter. They will utilize smart contracts. And there's many other things that you could do with it, especially like DeFi. I said DeFi is evolving. Maybe there's a way they can get into DeFi and do different kind of lending and borrowing and all this stuff, right? And he says when they're ready, they're going to be utilizing chains like Ethereum. They may not be using their own chains. This is a big endorsement coming out of China to mention like a chain that's outside, that wasn't developed in China. This is pretty big. But we know that China already declared in their courts that Ethereum and Bitcoin are property. They're legal property, right? So despite the fact that there's a lot of FUD about how China wants to ban Bitcoin you know what? It's kind of curious that their courts already deemed that Bitcoin and Ethereum are legal property. You could sue people for disputes over Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that one of their ex-head of their new digital yuan would say something positive about Ethereum. So I don't think they're as closed-minded as people think. I think, again, it's a lot of media FUD. There's a lot of misunderstanding or misdirection, right? But ultimately, China's going full-blown crypto. There's no doubt about it, right? And Bitcoin mining, that has been around for a decade, right? You think China's oblivious to all the mining's going on, and all of a sudden they're like trying to crack down on everyone? No, they know that. They knew that. It's been operating. You don't think they know about crypto projects like VeChain and Neo? No, they know about that. It's all part of their grand plan. So all this FUD about how China's going to shut everything out and this and that, that's all BS. That's all FUD. You got to pay attention. Pay attention, and they're about to unleash upon their citizens and the world their digital yuan, their digital wallet, and possibly many other things that we don't know about. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. All right, what else is there? Well, I saw this. Tax. Tax is always a big thing. Biden, his administration, with all these, there's another stimulus that's being given out for people with children. He released his budget proposal where he's going to be spending $6 trillion. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So fears of inflation is still real. That has not gone out the window. People are still very, very fearful of inflation. But one of the things he's really working on is taxing to kind of recoup that, right? So this article talks about tax evasion by crypto investors. I know that Janet Yellen, she's really looking into this. I mean, there's a lot of people that's really trying to crack down on tax. This is why also I think governments don't want to close down Bitcoin, because they rather tax. They know a lot of people made an insane amount of money, right, with Bitcoin and other cryptos. So they really want to tax people. So be careful. A lot of you guys that are selling, right, or doing a lot of trading, keep in mind, they're all taxable events. If you trade from Bitcoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to VeChain, VeChain to Binance Smart Chain, every single trade is a taxable event. And also, if you trade to, say, USDT and USDC, some people think that's not a taxable event. No, that is. It doesn't mean that you cash out. That's the only way. All these trades are taxable event. So make sure you know that. If you hold, that's the only thing that's not a taxable event. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people don't pay attention to this, but at the end of the year, if you're using a software to calculate all your trades, you're like, what the hell? Why do I owe so much taxes? So it's because of all the trades too. So a lot of people don't talk about it, but there is a lot of tax stuff that you do have to worry about. And this is a good time to plug my sponsor, iTrust Capital, because if you don't want to worry about taxes right now, then you can actually use your 401k, your IRA, or a Roth IRA to trade crypto with iTrust Capital, right? So then you'll worry about taxes later. You don't have to worry about it now. You can trade as much as you want. And they do have all the big ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum. They added Cardano. They added Uniswap recently, right? So if you don't want to worry about taxes, that's one way to do it too. So check out iTrust Capital. They're in the description of this video. All right. Lastly, before again Q&A, I do have a new sponsor today, a promising DeFi project out of Philippines. They're called BitCash Pay, and they're really about everything. Anything you could think of in DeFi, they pretty much are trying to do. Staking, yield farming, lending, DEX, fiat in and out, which means you could buy with fiat. They have their own crypto academy to educate people, their solutions, and remittance service. Yes, they're trying to basically do it all. Everything. The big thing that separates them from everyone else out of the Philippines, because when they first said they're SEC registered, I thought they meant the SEC from the US. No, they're SEC registered from the Philippines, but still, that's a big deal. And they wanted me to show this certificate to prove that they are registered at SEC, because we know a lot of crypto projects left and right. You don't know if they're really legit or not, whether or not the regulators of the country are really approving the project. Well, this is one of the only ones from Philippines that have been approved to operate. So that's pretty big deal, I say. And if you just look through it, I mean, they pretty much, they're trying to do everything. Zero fee transfers also, academy discounts, staking, remittance, real-time loans. Yeah, like I said, everything. But if you look down here, they have their token economics. Their roadmap is pretty extensive. They've been out since 2019. They got that SEC license they were looking for, and they're testing out their Android and iOS beta, which according to their Twitter, they already have out. So over here, I saw it here. So here's the beta app for Android that you can download. Same thing iOS, they're working on that. They're listed on Uniswap, PancakeSwap, QuickSwap, all the biggest AMMs out there, right? And of course, they just obtained this SEC registration, so that's pretty big. That's pretty big. So if you are interested, if you're in the Philippines or not in the Philippines, and you're looking for a DeFi solution, check out BitCash Pay. Their URL is in the description of this video. All right, guys, let's now do some Q&A. Let's do this. Scott asks, what do you think about banks banning deposits in the crypto exchanges? I know that has happened before, and there's some banks that's very, very strict, but I think that's going to be opening up. I mean, come on. If JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, they're going to be recommending Bitcoin to their wealth clients, they can't have a stance that you can't buy directly from Coinbase, that you have to use their funds to buy Bitcoin, right? I just don't see that. So one after another, they're going to open up. I recently covered about how Citibank and Wells Fargo and Bank of America, they're still neutral, right? I think they're neutral because they haven't accumulated enough, right? So they're still kind of spreading that fear to their clients. But when they do accumulate enough, they're going to say, hey, we're pro crypto, right? So I think it's just a matter of time. You just have to wait it out. Good morning. Caesar says, good morning. If a coin is sent to me as a gift and I sell it, is it a taxable event? Yes, I believe so. I don't know if it works the same way like if you're gifted stocks. I think it's up to a certain amount. But again, I'm no tax lawyer, so seek financial help with that. I think I remember when gifting, at least in the U.S., you can only gift a certain amount that's tax free. But if you go above it, then doesn't matter. With all the exploits on BSC, should we get off of BSC chain projects? I say no. There's a lot of exploits that happen everywhere. The chains that provide the infrastructure, they're not obligated to audit every single dApp that comes out. This is the same with Ethereum. All these DeFi projects that previously indexes and others that got hacked on Ethereum, right? It's not Ethereum's fault. It's because the projects themselves, they didn't do proper auditing. That's why there's auditing projects that exist, like QuantStamp. They're supposed to review smart contracts, right? So I don't think you should blame a chain just for the faults of the projects themselves. Saya, general thoughts, I think it's good. Neutral, I like Arweave much better. Ethereum Classic, I don't know where they're going. I know where Ethereum is going. I don't know where Ethereum Classic is going. So that's the thing. I don't think. Rude guy, background story of We Are All George. No reason. It just started. Like, I used to say I am George, and then people start saying I am George too in the chat, and then people told me you should just say we are all George, and it just kind of started. It's like I am Negan if you watch Walking Dead. But the thing is that the power behind it is that no matter what, good and bad, we're all standing together, and we're all together. We're all one. That's the thing, right? Especially now. It's a good reminder because not everything is good. When things are bad, we need to stick together, right? And that is what that's really all about. I have no opinions on Zero Wallet. People asked me about it. I looked at it. It's not even done, so I have no opinions about it. Check Definity, a new project released on CardStar Launchpad of Cardano. What's your these things that are launching, okay, on Cardano, they're not even done. They can't be done until Goguen is done. So I'm not really paying attention to these new smaller, like right now I'm not paying attention a whole lot to new smaller cap projects, micro cap projects, because I think when there's still market weakness, people focus on what they know, which is the big caps right now, right? And plus all these new Cardano projects, they're kind of just sitting idle waiting for Goguen to be done. So that's another reason why I'm not really paying attention to them. James, appreciate that. Do you know percentage rates on capital gains? Depends on where you live. In the US, it should be 20%, but Biden wants to raise that. I think he said as high as 42%, which is more than double. So I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. Julian says, the channel is the only reason I haven't panic sold. Thanks. And as a lawyer, my advice is not to mess with IRS. I agree with that. IRS has a lot of power. People don't realize that. It's always good to do things legit. So make sure you get a good accountant or a tax lawyer or something. Milgoss, your very existence gives me hope. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thoughts on Harmony One? $1 still possible during bull run. Harmony One is one of the projects I really do like. A EVM compatible chain that is onboarding a lot of new DeFi projects now, and that's what you need. You need dApps. I mean, it's good to have a very fast chain, but you need dApps that people will use and utilize, right? So, it's very encouraging that they are getting it. Tim, should we mainly only DCA over the year when there's dips and coins in red, and also when coins are going up like today, or is it too late to buy ADA and bet? No, I mean, obviously the best time is to do it when things are down, right? But there's many people that DCA over long haul. They set a schedule. That's another way to do it. You set it like, hey, I'm going to buy X amount every Friday of every month, or every 2 weeks when I get a paycheck, I won't buy this amount. And you just set that. You can set it on all these apps like Gemini, Coinbase, and stuff like that. I'll let you set it. And you just take price out of the equation. You're just buying a little bit, and your dollar cost average on long haul. You could do that too. You don't have to do it manually. But obviously when things are down tremendously, like 50, 60%, why not, right? You can do it manually. But a lot of people just set and forget it. You know, that's another way to do it. And that's also a good strategy. Stupid, I'm not in the market really. I bought a little bit last week when it was low. Am I stupid for waiting to drop the rest? No, but no one really knows bottom. No one knows bottom or top. The best way to do it is just sprout your buys, and if you think it's right, go for it, right? But don't go all in. Always sprout your buys, and again, don't invest more than what you can afford to lose. How do you feel about the launch of Gravity Dex is going to impact the price of Atom? I've heard little about it. You know, Atom is one of those projects that has been stagnant for a while, right? Hopefully some DeFi stuff in this space will carry it, because they have been lagging, especially compared to some of the others. But I do think they are undervalued. Gary White, I bought the dip, only have 1,500 BTC, ETH, ADA, and Doge, wasting my time. I don't think so. I don't think anyone that is buying Bitcoin or ETH or ADA or Doge is wasting their time. You know what? There's still tremendous gains to be had, in my opinion, right? Just don't expect to become a millionaire overnight. Play the long game. Play the long game. Happy is like a oracle for vulnerabilities or breaches. So they're kind of in the security space, kind of in the oracle space. I'm kind of neutral on them. The Wendell, Altera, they're currently developing smart NFTs. All right, I'll take a look at them. All right, last few questions. Get them in. They're on a PancakeSwap, BSC, where blockchain meets gaming, the next generation gaming NFT platform. Smart NFTs have properties that can change based on certain conditions. Okay, loot boxes. I know about loot boxes, cross-platform items. This is interesting. Like, properties that can change on certain conditions. I could say that, like, yeah, for video games, that could definitely be a big thing, right? Like, if you have a gaming item, you can only use it so much before it breaks or something, kind of like a traditional game. That's actually kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think this could be good. You know, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. It's still relatively new, but I like that concept. I like that concept. Loved your video with Rob. Thoughts on StormX. I know Rob is big on StormX. I interviewed Simon. I think they're a good project. They're a little young. Even though they've done very much and they're still executing, the number of users is still a little bit low. But if they keep killing it, they could be a big, you know, like a loyalty rewards kind of app. It could be good. It could be good. Avi, thoughts on exchange where every transaction involving all crypto on exchange is a reflection given back to all holders like a dividend. Yeah, KuCoin does that. KuCoin does that by just holding some KCS, right? So I like KuCoin. I really love KuCoin because especially for those of you guys in the US that can't use Binance, KuCoin is still open, one of the remaining ones, and they have a ton of coins, and they do that. They give you like a dividend back. Anthony, I finally got to catch you live. Please let me know if AMC GameStop's a distraction from the crypto market. They're not a distraction. Those guys are just not in the crypto market. But it does show, the good thing it does show is that a group of people, retail people, not hedge funds, collectively, if they stay strong, they can cause a lot of change, right? That is exactly what crypto is doing. That's why I think AMC and GameStop people eventually will come to crypto. It just makes sense. Why just disrupt hedge funds when you could disrupt banks and central banks and governments around the world, right? You could disrupt a lot more with crypto than you can with AMC and GameStop, in my opinion. I think it's a natural synergy. I think it's just a matter of time before they come in. I think a lot of them came in into Doge only, but eventually they're going to come into others and true DeFi projects, and I think that's when things will really be awesome. Your channel and Dan are the two crypto channels I watch. I've been trying to go on, do something with Rob from Digital Access Network for a while. He reached out to me yesterday. He's like, hey, come on this show. I'm like, okay. All right, I got nothing to do. So, yeah, sure. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Overall, billions upon billions upon billions of Bitcoin were bought during the dip. Not only Bitcoin, but also altcoins, which is why today altcoins are doing pretty darn good. Were you among the ones that actually took a risk and decided to buy? If so, you're probably feeling pretty good right now, right? But this is the strategy I've been advising. Don't try to time top or bottom. Things will move. TA is right 50% of the time, 50% are wrong, right? No one really knows. Things could fluctuate left and right, minute by minute. But the one strategy that works is just simply dollar cost average, buy things when they're low, and HODL, especially the good projects that you know fundamentally has not changed. It didn't change in 3 weeks. The only thing that changed is the FUD, the narrative that the media is driving, and you don't want to fall for that. You don't want to fall for that because while this is happening, the big boys, the institutions and banks, they're gobbling up as much as they can, and that's what we need to do. We need to imitate that. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one, guys.